folks, Quillyteen here, and welcome to Let's Try Vampire Survivors. I live streamed yesterday, and during the stream, a bunch of people asked me to try this thing out, and I checked out on Steam, and it was $3 Canadian. This is a cheap game. I picked it up, played it on stream, then played it for several more hours after the stream. Holy cow, this thing is a lot of fun. I can see why a lot of people were raving about this thing. This is an arcadey roguelite game. Very short runs, no more than 30 minutes. You die at the end of it. Excellent. You receive some currency that you can use to give yourself some permanent power-ups for future runs, as well as unlocking additional characters along the way. So I haven't played it that long. It's still in early access, still lots of new content being added all the time. But it is a heck of a lot of fun and really easy to play. I'm going to give you a little example of the gameplay over here. I'm going to grab Melda. I think she's a great little early starting character. Each of the characters, they have slightly different stats. Antonio, the first one you start with, has a little bit more health and some armor. Great, starts with the whip, and also gains some more damage every level. Imelda, a little bit more of a baseline stat level, but starting with the magic wand is quite good, and then she gets bonus experience every few levels, which is really lovely. I quite like Pasqualina as well because of her starting item here, but let's go ahead and jump in as Imelda. Now, when I started this game on stream, let's do the, you know what, we'll do the Mad Forest, because that is the baseline level over here. Sure, why not? And actually, I haven't unlocked any of the bigger modes for the forest. The library I find really quite easy to grind at, and very satisfying, but we'll show the forest. Maybe not as visually impressive, but it'll give you a good baseline. So yeah, I started, I'm like, wait, I don't even know the controls. And it turns out the controls are literally just arrow keys. All you do is move, your character auto-fires their weapon on a cooldown. Now, Imelda here starts with a magic wand. It just targets the nearest thing with a bolt of magic. I have leveled up I progressed my account here so that I have 2 attacks, or a +1 attack. So she actually fires 2 missiles at once, which is quite nice. You kill enemies. Now, killing enemies by themselves don't do anything, but dead enemies will drop gems. I think the low-level enemies, they're not guaranteed to drop gems all the time, but most do. Picking up the gems, that's your experience points. Pick up X number of gems, you level up. So I think you only need like 5 gems for the very first level up here. And then you're presented with a list of options. Normally 3, I got lucky this time. Literally my luck stat over here, which is something that I haven't embiggened on my account. My luck stat let me get a list of 4. Sometimes the things in this list will be weapons. Sometimes they will be passive effects. Here they happen to all be weapons. Maybe the first time you level up, it's always guaranteed to be all weapons. I'm not sure. You can have up to 6 weapons and 6 passive effects, although a little asterisk on the last one. That is actually technically possible to have more than that, because you could have your full 6 and pick up an extra one that's sitting around the level for various things. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. All the weapons scale in a variety of different ways and have some fun effects. Let's grab the axe. I'm a big fan of the axe. It's actually very, very handy here. So you can click on these, but you can also just arrow around, and you can use a controller as well. So I'm just gonna pick the axe and spacebar that. Now I have 2 weapons. In the very top left corner of the screen, right over here, you can see my 2 weapons. This screen, by the way, the stats, you won't have it right away. This unlocks when you get to a certain level of progression in the game, the stat screen breakdown. By default, it's not visible, but you can see I have 2 weapons, and they both continuously fire. They all have their own cooldown. There's the axes, so it has its own way of firing. Sort of flings itself upwards and then comes down. Axes have a nice little area around them, and they can penetrate like a few enemies. I don't know if they do by default, but certainly as they level up, they will penetrate more and more enemies. And so, yeah, all I'm going to do here is just looking to get some kills. So this first level, again, visually, not very impressive. I suspect this is the first one that came out. The other 2 levels have a lot more just sort of visual appeal going on, and I suspect there'll be some more passes over here, but they're putting out some new content pretty quickly. All right, we got another level up, and again, I got a list of 4. The luck rolls are really paying off over here, and you can see I have an option of taking the axe again, because you can level up the items. If you look over here in the top left corner, you see the little dots. This axe is currently level 1. All weapons can have up to 8 levels. And so I can choose here to level up the axe, which will give me an extra projectile, or I can unlock yet another weapon, which will be on its own cooldown timer, so there's going to be more overall firing. And what you take is going to be an interesting and tricky decision. One thing I will say, I'm trying not to get too much into spoilers for people who want to discover things as they go. Of course, there's a wiki that gives you tons of information, but getting your weapon to max level and pairing them with specific passive items, which we haven't seen yet, but we will hopefully see the next time we level up, will unlock an ultimate evolution of the weapon. So more weapons equals more things happening simultaneously, which is quite good, but maxing out a weapon to level 8 can enable an evolution if you have the right paired item, which is quite nice. Currently, there's only, I think there's about a dozen, maybe 10 weapons somewhere around there, somewhere around that number of weapons, and then slightly more than that passive items, because some of the passive items don't pair with the weapon. And one of the weapons, actually I guess two of the weapons, because the clock lancet, oh, and the and the defensive items. So at least three weapons maybe don't have a paired passive. So I don't know what the numbers are exactly. But anyway, so yeah, there's going to be some strategy there, and some builds will go in different ways. So there's some passive things that give you more projectiles, some give you more area of effect, some give your weapons more duration. And so you might sort of build your character around a certain one of those paths, depending on what you started with. Like, more duration on the magic wand and the axe doesn't really do anything. So maybe you kind of like will optimize there. But let's go ahead and grab the Santa water here. And so the Santa water will be a little flask that gets tossed out from time to time and leave a little patch. There we go. These little blue burning patches. So normally you'd get one, but again, I've leveled up my basic account to get 2 projectiles. So we're getting 2 of these patches at once. Now, I don't really like the Santa water early on. It's a little area of damage over time, but it's very tiny. Maybe you can sort of kite some enemies into it, but it doesn't seem ultra viable for that. Oh, look at this. We're 1 minute into the game now, so we're getting new types of enemies. The enemies progress with time. We've also got our first bat. See this bat, or first boss? That bat over there, which didn't die from the immediate attacks, that is a boss. Bosses will drop chests, which have additional loot in them, which is quite nice. You can't evade the bosses. The map is effectively infinite. I think there are boundaries, and some of the maps have more boundaries than others, but effectively the maps are quite large, and so you can leave monster packs behind. But the bosses will wrap around, sort of like the old Asteroid computer game. So if you... Wait, did that not drop a chest? Did it just drop a red gem? Maybe the glowing bats aren't true bosses? That's possible. The gems come in blue, green, and red, which are worth increasing amount of XP. Okay, we got our first passive item, the Candelabrador. I don't know what the deal is with the name. This is a passive that augments the area of attacks by 10%. All of our attacks will be bigger. It'll literally make our axes bigger. It'll make the Santa water area bigger on the map, that sort of thing. It's quite a good passive. And I'm not going to say which, but this is the combo, the passive item that combos with one of the 3 attacks that we currently have for its ultimate evolution. Fire Wand, Whip, and Pentagram are all different items. Pentagram is like a screen-wide wipe, and it does erase, which means it actually consumes even the gems on the screen. Although as you level up the Pentagram, it starts to have a percentage chance to not consume the items, and that is modified by your luck as well. So high luck and high-level Pentagrams will kill everything, but leave the stuff behind. The Pentagram has a default cooldown of 90 seconds, so it's quite slow to fire. I think here, I could grab the Candelabrador. Also tempted to take the Fire Wand. Tell you what, I'll take the Candelabrador just because it will demonstrate the passive effects over here. So we'll grab that. And yeah, if you kind of squint, you might notice that the items are a little bit bigger. Picked up that red gem, worked a lot of XP, so I'm going to level up immediately again. There we go. See, 3 items only. I could get a 2nd level in the magic wand, which gives us an extra projectile. It's kind of nice. More Candelabrador for more radius. I'll probably wait until I get more weapons for that. Speaking of weapons, we got the Rune Tracer over here. Rune Tracer is probably my favorite weapon. It is extremely strong, despite the fact that it actually doesn't have an evolution, but it's really handy. It'll look a lot like the magic wand, although I think it fires in a completely random direction, but it says bounce around. It'll actually bounce off the screen edges. And so if you get things that increase your projectile speed or the duration of effects, it'll stick around on the screen more and just keep bouncing and bouncing, do huge damage. And it's really quite fantastic. My favorite level there, the library, it feels like the Rune Tracer does an excellent job because it does bounce around really aggressively here. But yeah, if you keep an eye on those Rune Tracers, you can see them bounce on the edge of the screen. It'll become more and more obvious as we level it up. Now, I'm going to try to see if I can hit this little... There you go. That brazier over there. So every level... Oh, I'm going to take a bunch of damage. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Luckily, the bats don't hit very hard. Jeez. But those swarms can be dangerous. What was I saying? Runecaster. Oh, the braziers. Every level in the game has some sort of light object. It's the braziers here. It's candle holders in the library and street lights in the... Is it called like the dairy factory or something? I don't know, the 3rd level. They all work the same. If you pop them, they will drop an item. The weakest item that they'll drop is a coin. So coins are the currency. They don't level you up. Gems level you up. Coins are the currency that you use to unlock permanent power-ups from the main menu between runs and also to unlock new characters. So it can drop coins or a bag of coins, but it can also drop items that heal you and a few other special items that are quite cool. So generally speaking, it's going to be fairly decent to go and pop those, although again, they won't tend to progress your level forward, but they're still quite nice. I'm not really keen on the knife or the whip, so I'm just going to go ahead and level up the magic wand over here and try to stay out of trouble. Now, what I'm really hoping for is we get the option to pick up a passive item, oh no, called the Attract Orb. I was really trying to work my way up northwest there to pick up the bunch of gems that are sitting there. The Attract Orb increases the radius at which you pick up items. Now, I've already got a passive boost to that, so I already have an easier time picking up... Oh, this is going to be useful. This is one of the lit items. Fire Breath. Oh, yeah. So this is just a temporary little boost, but man, is it going to do great things for us. Yeah, the Attract Orb increases the radius which you grab things, which is the magnet level over here. So mine's already bigger because I've invested some points into it. But it makes a huge difference because there is an item called the Crown that increases the XP you get from picking up things. I don't like that one because while you do level up faster, it does take up one of your 6 slots, right? You only have 6 slots for passive items. So one of your items is just there to help you level faster, which means you'll hit your maximum level faster, but in the end, you'll be a little bit weaker because you will have 1 fewer passive items. Although you'll get, you know, a little further, a little bit easier, potentially if I'm leveling up. But passives can go up, can level up to 5 times, most of them, as opposed to weapons, which are 8. So that means you're spending 5 levels to maximize this crown to get more XP, but also using up one of your passive slots over here. To compare, the Attract Orb lets you collect gems more easily at range, which in a certain way is also just increasing the rate at which you get XP. But I much prefer it for 2 reasons. First of all, you can sometimes get stalled where there's a big pack sort of, you know, camping the gems you're trying to get to. And even if you've got the crown, if you can't pick up the gems, it's not helping. Whereas the Attract Orb really helps pull all those things in. It'll also pick up items from the, like, the braziers, the light sources we're going to blow up. So if I need to pick up a floor chicken, which is health, it'll let me do it from range, which is really handy. The other difference is that the crown, slight spoiler, the crown is the pair up item for an evolution for a weapon I don't particularly care about. Whereas the Absorb Orb, or whatever it's called, the Attract Orb, I can't remember the name of it now, it pairs up with a weapon that is okay. Speaking of weapons that are okay, the Santa Water, not totally a spoiler. The Santa Water, I don't really care for it early game, as I mentioned, but it does scale up very well, especially if you get its evolution, then it becomes quite deadly. The Pumarolo is quite cool. It is decent to get the health. I'm going to skip it here. I'm just going to put some extra ranks into the Santa Water. Oh yeah, I forgot I still have the Flame Breath going on. It was only a temporary bonus, but man, is it effective. There it goes. It's run out, but we're going to grab that. So I'm going to cycle around. Now, I don't know. This map, I think it does actually have some hidden objects somewhere. So there is some incentive to maybe go to one of the corners of the maps. I'm not entirely sure. I heard that you do unlock... I think this is something in the dairy farm. You do unlock a map that you can get that will reveal passive items in the game. So that'll help a little bit. Okay, we got a bunch more stuff. Lightning Reaming is a weapon that, yeah, just fires lightning at a random enemy on the screen. I do find it scales up really cool. It's quite entertaining. We could level up the magic wand. I'm gonna get the ebony wings over here, which is a different weapon, and it's quite odd. It's a little, just like the Santa Water. I feel like early on, you can see that circle. And the little bird that hovers around me, the bird is firing into that circle, and it'll cool down for a second and then do it again. It's not really... I find it very difficult to sort of aim and use intentionally. But as you level things up and do various other things, it's basically just adding to just screen-wide damage. The amount of enemies that are going to be on the screen later on is going to be ridiculous. The screen is just going to be covered with baddies, so you don't really care about aiming at all anymore. All your attention is basically... Ooh, floor chicken. Is all going to be... 30 hit points for me. All going to be just on moving and trying to avoid taking damage. So the fact that this is just kind of hitting at random is going to be fine and not a problem. Magic Wand or Ebony Wings? I think I'll level up the Magic Wand for now. The Magic Wand I don't think is like super potent late game kind of stuff, but I think it's really good early on. Just to be able to consistently kill things that are near you, which you're going to need to do a lot because you're having to walk up to things to pick up these gems because you don't really have the range on your magnet in the very early game. So that brazier just dropped a coin, which is great for long-term progression, I suppose, but not too sexy right now. Let's keep going up the magic wand, get some more projectiles here. Excellent. They don't pierce enemies or anything, but assuming, like, you know, if the first 2 kill bad guy, then it'll keep going and potentially hit things behind it at that point with the extra projectiles. But it's just sort of more overall damage, which is good. Now, we're hoping to get our first proper boss soon so that we can show off what a chest does. Got another glowing bat. Maybe the glowing bat's never a boss. Maybe I was confused about that the whole time. They're certainly tougher. Oh, no, there it is. They did drop a chest. So what we're going to want to do is pick up that chest, although it's a little scary. The magnet range does not help your chest pickup. You do have to walk onto it. There we go. And you open the chest, and you, oh, hey, we got a triple up. Luck is helping out. Sometimes you get 1 item, sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 5. And there's great music. Now, you can skip it by hitting escape, but why would you ever do that? So we got ourselves another magic wand level, another rune tracer level, and another Santa water level. There we go. Excellent. And we got a whole bunch of gold for continuing forward. We went from 5 to this, and I just picked up a gem there as it unpaused, so we can pick another item up. Laurel is, even though it's not really an offensive weapon. It is a weapon slot. What it does is on a cooldown, it puts a shield around you. And then when you would take damage, it just pops the shield instead of taking damage. And then you wait a few seconds and the shield comes back. It can protect you from quite a lot of damage, which is really nice. Garlic is another weapon. It just has a radius around you where it deals a little bit of damage, but in a constant radius. It's really nice if you get it very early. It will make your early game really useful, but it does sort of fall off in utility, I find. It doesn't consistently do a tremendous amount of damage, although reducing the resistance knockback and freeze is quite good. A lot of your weapons will knock enemies back, and one of them can freeze them, so the garlic makes them continue to be vulnerable to that sort of thing. However, I'm going to grab Clover here, which is a passive, and give us more luck. We'll get more items from the chest, which is going to be nice. Now, again, this is a little bit comparable to the things that increase your pickup range or the bonus XP, because it's not really increasing your damage, although there is critical damage, which is a possibility. But in practice, it is really useful. One of the things it does, it creates more light sources. The other thing it does is it makes the drops from light sources more valuable. I think it also increases the quality of gems, and when you do pop a chest, it increases the chance that you get multiple items. So the Clover has a really good multiplicative effect, and it is one of the passive items that combos with a weapon, although not one of the ones I currently have. It's quite common for me to grab the weapon that is paired with the Clover, because I quite like the Clover itself, and then that makes it that much more of a valuable choice. Although the weapon it's paired with, until you evolve it, it's quite good early game, and then sort of falls off in the mid game, and then you evolve it, and it starts to become kind of a badass thing again. We'll see. I don't want to grab the lightning ring. We do have room for one more weapon, but I have a certain weapon planned for this. So I'll just tell you what, I'm going to keep pumping up, I don't know, either the water or the axe. Maybe it will be the axe right now. Because, spoiler alert, I do have an item that pairs with the axe. So if we can get the axe to level 8, we can get its ultimate evolution. Oh, we got a little ring of plants over here. They will time out at some point, but, and they are killable, although they're quite hard to kill. But mostly we just have to survive in the smaller arena right now, is what we're going to have to be dealing with. Although that seems to be okay currently. It's going very well. In fact, I haven't played this map since I unlocked the library, and it really was time for me to come back, because I'm a lot stronger now, because first of all, I understand a lot more of the mechanics, but also we got more of those passive buffs. And the very first character you get, he starts off with a whip, which I find very awkward to use, until you level up the whip, and then, because the whip just attacks in front of you. And so if you're having to like kite away, if you're being chased by enemies, you have to keep doing this rhythm where you turn around to get the whip to go out, you know, and hope you time it right so that you whip the people that are chasing you. But once you level up the whip, it will get the +1 projectile, and it will attack front and back every time. And that becomes a lot easier because you're kind of avoiding some enemies. So that was a boss there, that praying mantis. Open the chest. We only got one thing this time. I'll skip the animation. I got another level of Santa water. Excellent. As far as I know, and at this point, I'm very confident about this, the chest will only ever give you something you already have, and that isn't maxed out. So it won't give you a random weapon that will ruin your build or something like that. It'll only level up something you already own, which is very handy. All right, let's go ahead and grab the axe. So yeah, I don't care for the knives. Bats! Okay, not too much damage. I don't care for the knife because it fires in front of you. Although at some point I'm gonna have to get it, because there's tons of little achievements and stuff in this game, including like leveling up weapons to certain levels and things. And so I've never grabbed the knife and never leveled it up very much, so I'm gonna have to do that. But there's a character that starts with a knife, so I'll probably just do it on that one. So that way I can get the achievement for leveling that character to a certain point. You know, may as well pick up the chicken. And then also the achievement for leveling up the knife kind of in one run, and then maybe never play him again. I don't know, maybe he's got a god tier passive ability, but I think that might be the case. I think he's got a really good passive, but I hate his weapon. But maybe the evolution's quite good, I don't know. Kill a brazier, we just get a single coin, very dull. Still really looking for the tractor item here. So spinach just flat out 10% more damage, which is really good. Actually, I will level up the wings, because assuming we can get the other thing for it, the wing item's quite good. It's one of the reasons I'm not taking a 6th weapon. I don't want to spoil anything, but those of you who have played know what I'm talking about. It's quite a good item, and also manipulates your character's weapon slots a little bit, so I'm hoping on that. I don't know. I have had some runs where I've literally never seen a particular item, and I don't know if that was just really weird bad luck, or if every time you play freeze and fire breath, there are like some items that aren't available in each run. I don't know if it's map based or character based or something like that, but it does feel like something like that can be the case. I'm gonna keep leveling up the axe right now. I gotta say, if you do play the whip, because the whip basically attacks horizontally. Well, there's no basically. The whip attacks horizontally. Pairing the whip with the axe is quite nice, because the axe basically attacks vertically, right? A little above you and then quite a bit below you. And so between the axe and the whip, you are going to cover all the directions pretty well. Although a lot of the items cover a lot of directions pretty well. So that bat there should be another boss. I was hoping to get to the point where I could show you an evolved weapon here, but this video is starting to be a little bit long. You know what, I'm going to get the clover, because if I'm going to get a chest out of here, we can increase our chance to get a lucky roll and get some extra items. That might be quite nice. Again, it won't give me anything new, but multiple items is quite good. If ever you get a chest and your items that you have are already max level, it will just give you gold. So permanent character unlock thing, which is kind of nice. That's what tends to happen. At some point, you will have all your items all done. Yeah, see that? That bat wasn't the boss. It just dropped a red gem. So I don't know quite what to expect there. Spellbinder is pretty good. We don't have the weapon it combos with, but it does work really well with the holy water. I think it will also, the birds, it will make their effect last longer, so there'll be less of a time when they're not running. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Although the clover was also tempting, but I think this is going to be a fine and good pickup. But yeah, those little burn spots are going to keep nicer. And when you evolve the Santa water, the patches actually move and increase in damage as they sit around and move. So it is quite nice to increase their duration. But yeah, this is the main gameplay loop. There is a lot more, especially with all the unlocks, and some of the maps have items you can look for. Again, I think this map might have one. I was trying to avoid spoilers, but I think I saw a hint that there are passive items available to be picked up on this map somewhere too. So I wonder if the stuff that's a passive item on the map can't be looted naturally. Maybe that's what it is. No, that doesn't make any sense. Well, maybe it does make sense, but that's not the problem I was thinking about with the time. There was a time recently I was trying to find this black bird that I currently have. I was really trying to get it on my character, and it would not drop. In the end, I had all my slots filled up and maxed out except for one weapon slot, and so at some point when I leveled, I was just forced to pick another weapon, because it only shows you things that are valid picks. So it showed me 4 different weapons, and it didn't have the weapon I was specifically looking for. So yeah, I was forced to do that. So I don't know. There's still lots of things about this game I don't know. And I'm not convinced we're going to do super well in this particular run here. I'm leaving a lot of gems behind. But yeah, the range increase on my gem pickups, I haven't gotten one of those either. And that is rough, because it's making it a lot harder to consistently pick up all the XP that's lying around on the ground here. And I'm going to get slightly trapped. Nope, we're okay. Well, I mean, we're trapped in this ring of flurs. Look at us, we're Plants vs. Zombies now. Well, actually, you know what? I'm just going to run through here and grab that. Take a little bit of damage going through the plants, but that's okay. Some maybe slightly easier kills. We're not really getting really good value out of this timer here, because we're not killing huge batches of creatures. Huh. I don't know, probably should have just grabbed something else. I hate that, you know, we're plateauing a little bit. And this is what I was talking about. When you don't get the extra magnet range, you can feel like you plateau a little. Grab these green gems, because they're worth slightly more XP. Okay, getting close to another level. We'll see what this one gives us, and then we'll probably end the video. I kind of Those plants are going to disappear at some point. Ooh, let's grab the chicken. Those plants... Oh, we kill the boss. See the arrow? When you kill a boss... So you can't run away from the bosses. They do loop around from top to bottom of the screen. Oh, shit. This is a hell of an enemy wave. Okay, there's a bunch of coins down there. So you can't avoid the bosses. And then when they die, they drop a chest. And the chest doesn't disappear either. So you get this little marker so you can find it. I think I'm tempted to just grab a pentagram thing. But I'm going to grab the King Bible. Because I got to pick something here. I suppose I could get another magic wand charge. I do have the item that pairs with the King Bible. I don't know, maybe I'll just do this. Keep hoping we find the weapon I'm actually looking for. At least I'm still picking something that'll help with the magic wand charge. Although I don't have the passive item that pairs with it. Still don't. Once these are level 8, they will be removed from the pool at least. I mean, we've got so much like stuff on the screen right now. Maybe more Santa water is actually the best way to clear. There's a chicken down there, but I'm at full health. Just gonna try to loop around, pick up some of this loot, but also hopefully make my way to the chest. You can see what I mean, though. The screen does get fuller and fuller. The at different timers, like different types of enemies spawn. And right now, it's huge waves of skeletons are what's being spawned. The next cycle might be slightly fewer numbers. Hey, we got a triple loot again. All right, holy water, axe, and another one of the longer duration things, which is going to help with the Santa water, not holy water. I don't know why it's called Santa water. I think there's a lot of references to things in this game that I don't necessarily get. Probably references to other games, other things. I mean, it feels like there's a lot of references to Castlevania, that's for sure. Well, I guess I'll max out the Santa water. Although, without a particular passive item, I can't evolve it, which is a little annoying. Just trying to get out of this melee here, get a bit of breathing space, and then reposition. There's tons of loot to be had down there. Some still in the form of undead. Dodge the bat swarm. Go through here. We're going to take some damage, but it's probably worth it for the loot. We'll get another level. Alright, well, we'll get the axe. If I can max out the axe, I will get to evolve it, and it's going to be pretty awesome. At least we got plenty of chicken around. Still would... Oh, man, if we could get some extra freaking pickup range, this would make this so much easier. I guess I said I was going to stop the video here, but the problem with this game, it's very compelling to keep going. And even when you lose, you're like, oh, it's time to start another run. Okay, I'm gonna work on removing the magic wand from the pool. Force the game to show me something else. I don't need that chicken right now. I do want the orbs. Hollow heart for max HP, not really what I'm looking for. I'll max out this wand. Oh, we picked up... I guess the red gem is worth so much. We leveled up twice here. Oh, Peach one. Yes! Okay, I have both birds now. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So they both do the same. Oh my god, we got so many levels. There's the attract orb. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, baby, pickup range. That's what we want. It's gonna make things a lot easier to level up here. And as soon as I get a chest, we are gonna go and evolve an item. So I'll keep going at least that far. We'll get the axe as well because it's quite close to finish. Oh my god, so many freaking levels. Ooh. Okay. This is tempting. Because I want to get the level 8 axe because I can evolve it because I've got the paired item for it. But I want the empty tome. It's kind of good in general, and it pairs with one of my weapons to evolve it. And apparently I've been having really bad luck in looking for certain items, so I'm going to grab it while I've got the chance. And another level? Okay, well, I guess we still maxed out the axe. Wow, that was an incredible amount of XP in that little pile. These red gems must be worth a lot. But I think there was a lot of stuff stacked on top of one another. There's a chest up there we do have to grab so that we can finish something. I'm gonna go for the attract orb right now just to keep being able to pick up these gems. Oh, those are some fast moving ghosts. Oh no, don't like this area. I really want the chest, but I'm gonna have to kind of run and skirt here just to avoid some of the trouble. Dodge there. Okay, I'm gonna try to loop around. So yeah, you should see 2 circles around me now because the birds, they do the same thing but in opposite direction. Taking some damage. There's some chicken. Oh my god, there's another chest to the bottom. Don't die! Me trying to demo too many things and getting murdered here. Oh, there's chicken over here too. Perfect. Chicken and the chest. YOLO through here. Get that. I really shouldn't YOLO to this chest, but we're gonna. And there we go. So this is the evolved holy water, Labora. So now the holy water is gonna follow me. I'm gonna keep trying to level up the weapons whenever possible, just to get more evolutions. Now there's a chest down there, and we will be able to level up the axe, or evolve the axe, if we can get to that chest. I don't think I can walk through those plants. No. I gotta say, there's a few things in this game that it's a little bit unclear whether they are walkable through. That's a big problem in the dairy floor. That, pick up this to freeze these guys. Yes. A little bit of healing. Beeline towards this arrow. How far away was that? Quite far, apparently. Yeah, we're not one-shotting things right now, which is non-ideal. Through here. Oh, these bats are tough. Ugh, I just want to get that chest! Oh god. Oh god! That's the end of the run. Well, it turns out it's quite hard to do this and talk at the same time. This is not my forte, but I might have unlocked some new content here. Oh, there we go. 3,000 skeletons. Unlocked Mortaccio. Oh, I love Mortaccio in the morning. You know, a little espresso, a little cream. It's perfect. A little bone dust. I'm actually drinking an espresso right now. So that wasn't brilliant. Not gonna lie, that was not a brilliant run. But the point of this video was to introduce you to this great game that my viewers introduced me to yesterday when I was streaming. I'm really enjoying this. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. And this game is as cheap as chips. Like, go at it. And $3 Canadian, like $2.19 American or something like that. It's ludicrous. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.